Hello, and welcome to Kickin' Cooking in Quarantine. My name is Mary Bear Shannon. I'm a reference librarian at the Haverford Township Free Library, and we have been doing this program, Kickin' Cooking in Quarantine, for the last couple of months while we've all been inside in our homes. And I'm glad to have everyone here today. A couple of things before we get started. A lot of people know the library for their cookbook club. That's really kind of the inspiration behind this Kickin' Cooking in Quarantine. We meet once a month on the second Monday of each month, and we select a cookbook and everybody cooks from it. Before the pandemic, we were actually meeting together, and we would cook a different recipe and bring it to share. So it was like a potluck. Of course, we've not been able to do that, but we are still meeting online. We will be meeting in about 2 weeks on the 10th. So maybe about 2 weeks. And we'll be cooking from the Jamie Oliver 5-ingredient cookbook. You can either pick that up at the library, or you can also just go to his website about his 5 ingredients. That was a cookbook that he has done. So that's Cookbook Club. Again, the second Monday of every month we meet, and right now we're meeting via Zoom. So if you would like to join us, just give me an email. I'm at shannon@haverfordlibrary.org, and get a link for the Zoom meeting, which will be on the 10th of August. And you can cook from the Jamie Oliver 5-ingredient website, or you can come and get the cookbook at the library. I see that Mary is here. Welcome. Again, my name is Mary Bear Shannon. I am a reference librarian at the Haverford Township Free Library, and this is Kickin' Cooking in Quarantine. We have been cooking from my home in Havertown for the past couple of months, and I feel like I've cooked not everything that I know how to cook, because I am trying new things. And I do have a variation on a recipe that I have made in the past that I'm going to talk about today. The real theme today is it's just too hot to cook. And so the goal is to turn on your oven as little as possible on such a hot day. And so I have a recipe that I'm going to demonstrate in a couple of minutes that uses the oven very little. Part of it is using a crock pot. And it's been on low for most of the day, so it hasn't really been heating up my kitchen very much, so that's good. But I also would be interested to know, what are some of the things that you cook when it's just too hot to turn on the stove? Often I will grill, just so I'm not actually heating up my kitchen, and I'm actually going to do that today as well. Sometimes I just like fresh produce. I don't know if anybody else has just taken out one of their fresh tomatoes from their garden or from the store, which I'm sure is local, and then just slice that up as a vegetable for dinner. And sometimes I just sprinkle a little bit of salt on it, or put a little mayonnaise on it. That is one of my favorite it's too hot to cook dishes for the summer. Some of the other things I like to do are pasta salad, chicken salad, where you can possibly cook not right at dinner time, so the kitchen's not so hot, but cook in advance, or cook out on the grill. Often I will do chicken salad and grill it, so I'm not heating up my kitchen, and then cut a bunch of really great vegetables, put in some pasta and some for pasta salad, pasta, and sometimes I add chicken to that, but often I just do chicken salad straight, which is and I've grilled chicken on the grill. Some of the other things I like for the summer, and you can do in advance, is deviled eggs. Again, something you can do beforehand so you're not heating up your kitchen when everybody needs to sit down and eat. And again, as I mentioned, grilling is one of my favorite things to do to send all the heat outside. The other thing I have on my grill, and I don't know if anybody else has this, is a side burner. And sometimes I will put a big pot on to boil, especially if I'm doing pasta outside. I'm really lucky to have that part to my grill. So I'm not having to turn on the stove inside. And, you know, on a day like today where it's nearing 100, that is definitely a welcome thing. So the thing I wanted to talk about today as part of my dish is wheat berries. And I don't know if anybody has heard much about wheat berries. It's one of those whole grains that makes for a really good salad. You can mix it's a whole grain salad that you can add veggies, and sometimes you add fruits, cheeses, vegetables, and sometimes a meat, but sometimes you just do a straight non-meat salad. Wheat berries are, as I mentioned last week, they're good and good for you. They're being a whole grain, they're very high in fiber, and they have tons of vitamins, iron, calcium, vitamin E, folate, B vitamins, and potassium. I first discovered wheat berries when the Cookbook Club, as I just mentioned a little earlier, was doing the cookbook, and I'm going to show you because I actually bought this. It was one of my favorites, the Complete Mediterranean Cookbook. This is America's Test Kitchen. I liked it so much I bought it for myself. I found a recipe in there that I've actually made a couple of times now. And it is wheat berry salad with figs, pine nuts, and goat cheese. And I have actually made it a couple of times since. There are some really good things about wheat berries. They're nice and chewy. They do take a little while to cook, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But once you get it to the right, when you cook it to the right consistency, it's really got a nice chew to a salad along with some vegetables. So just a couple of things about cooking with wheat berries, and I'm actually going to show you kind of the end process. I had some time today because I was working at home, and I actually put wheat berries in my slow cooker, so I'm going to show you that. You can put, a cup of wheat berries and a couple of cups of water and some salt in your slow cooker, and either cook it 6 to 8 hours on low, or you can cook it 3 to 4 hours on high, and it should get it to the right consistency. If you don't have that kind of time, it's easily done on the stovetop. You can cook, it takes for about an hour on kind of a medium heat, and you can cook a cup of wheat berries in about 3 or 4 cups of water with a little bit of salt. But I will show you kind of the end product. And then the other things that I'm going to do to cook my wheat berries. But again, you can either do it on you can do it in a slow cooker, or you can do it on the stovetop. But it really is a terrific addition to salads, and gives it a little bit of heft. If you're looking for something more than just a vegetable salad, this gives you some whole wheat, some fiber that you can add to a meal. So anyway, I am going to get started on our salad. It is called wheat berry salad with tomatoes, corn, and basil. And I actually had I'm just getting my cherry tomatoes, so I wasn't able to pick them from my garden, so I had to go get some cherry tomatoes. But I am using some of my own fresh basil, which is exciting. And I did get some corn from the grocery store. So let's get started on the wheat berry salad with tomatoes and corn and basil. So here we go to my kitchen. Okay, so again, welcome to my kitchen. I am going to bend this down so you can actually see what I'm doing. Of course, you're going to see my midsection as opposed to seeing my face, but at least you'll get to see what we're doing here. So wheat berries. Again, I have had mine cooking in my crock pot today, and I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to drain these, and I am actually serving these up and putting them because I'm pretty close to putting this entire salad together. I think mixing the warm wheat berries with your dressing is the best way, because your wheat berries will soak up a lot of that dressing, and the wheat berries will be even more flavorful. So I highly recommend adding your dressing to your warm wheat berries. I do think that is preferable when you're doing a salad with wheat berries that requires when you're doing this kind of salad dressing. So let me show you. This is my crock pot. Yes, it's quite old, but it still serves me very well. I've had this almost my entire marriage, so actually even before that. So I'm going to tilt this so you can see that I have been cooking these wheat berries. There's a little bit of liquid left, and so I am going to drain this. When we are ready, I am going to make the salad dressing in a couple of minutes, but I'm going to keep this as warm until we're ready to do that, and then I'm going to drain it. As you can see here, I have a drain and a drainer and a bowl so that we can do that. But I'm not yet ready for that, so I'm going to put this to the side until we're ready. But I wanted to show you that. And what we're going to get started with is the corn element. The corn that I have is raw, so we do need to cook it in the skillet. This is the only time you're going to turn on your stove for this. And again, you could probably do this ahead of time. It doesn't necessarily have to be hot. This part does not have to be hot to go into your salad. And so I am going to put about I'm going to turn on my burner, and this is going to be my pan. I'm going to put about a tablespoon in my pan, and I'm going to get it. I'm not going to get it piping hot. I am going to get it warm enough so that we can start to cook. We're actually going to add our shallots. This is just one large shallot that I minced up, and we're going to cook this first for about 3 to 4 minutes until soft. So we're going to put this in. Again, this oil is just heating up now. We don't want this shallot to brown at this point. We really just want to soften it up. It's going to cook more when we add the corn, but we're gonna saute this for about 2 to 3 minutes. And again, it's not Food Network, so it's not choreographed as well as I would like it to be, but that is okay. So after this is cooking, this will cook about 3 minutes. And we'll just saute this in like I said, about a tablespoon of oil. I will put this recipe in the comment section of this broadcast after I'm done, along with a kind of a final picture. The other thing to know is that this is from the website The Kitchen. The Kitchen is a Food Network show, and this is one of their recipes for beating the heat. So I found this today, and it just sounded really good, especially with the basil and the tomatoes. The other salad that I made was more like a winter salad. It had figs in it and goat cheese, and this seems a little bit fresher for the summertime, using some things that are in your garden. So we're just, again, sauteing that. As I said, after After about 3 minutes, we're going to put this corn. This is just straight off the cob. I bought 3 fresh ears today and then just chopped it off. But again, it is raw, so we are going to need to cook this. And then the other thing we're going to work on once we get this corn in is our dressing. And I do have all of my, I will show you here, I have all of my ingredients here, and we will put that together as well. Just a real simple vinaigrette that will be easily put together and whisked together for our salad. So again, just sauteing this. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to add right at the end, after we cook the corn for a little bit, we're going to put in 3 cloves of garlic minced, and that is right here. So we will put that in when we are ready. So again, this is starting to get soft. I'd love to know if anybody else has cooked with wheat berries. What's their experience? When I first heard about it, I was like, wheat berries? I've never even heard of them. But they really are. They remind me of farro. If you've ever come across farro, it's another whole grain that sometimes people will use in salads. But it is a little bit kind of rounder. The farro is more like, kind of looks like a seed. The wheat berries really do look like a tiny little berry. But again, I think they're really good, and they really do well in salads. I know there are other things that people make with wheat berries, but I have really enjoyed making salads with it and having that dressing kind of soak up into the wheat berry. So we're getting close here to getting these soft. And so I am going to add in this corn. Now again, we're just going to let this sizzle for about 10 minutes. And what they want you to do is cook this on medium high. Cook until it's just beginning to brown on the edges. And so we're going to keep an eye on this, make sure it doesn't burn. But it is mixed up with the shallot now. And we're going to monitor this to see when it gets brown. So in the meantime, we're going to put together our dressing. So you're going to actually see kind of a dual action here. We've got this cooking, plus we've got our dressing. So the things you want for your dressing, again, this is super simple, is 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And that just came from 1 lemon. And of course, before you juice your lemon, if they call for zest, you want to zest your lemon first. Don't juice your lemon and then try and zest it. It does not turn out well, and you get, as Deb Perlman from Smitten Kitchen says, you get very grumpy. So you want to zest and then you want to juice your lemon. But this asks for a tablespoon of lemon zest. So I am putting in a tablespoon of lemon zest, which I think will give it a great lemony flavor. The other thing is a half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. This will help with emulsification and bringing this all together. So, Dijon mustard kind of a little bit goes a long way, but it really is kind of a magic element to dressings. The other thing you're going to put in here is 3/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt. And also a 1/4 teaspoon of fresh black pepper. So we have all of that. The only thing we need now is our extra virgin olive oil. And this is 2 tablespoons. You just keep an eye on this to make sure it is not burning. It looks like it is starting to cook. And I'm not yet seeing the browning, but it's getting there. Okay, So this last thing is olive oil. And I usually like to drizzle it in and mix it while I'm whisking to have this come all together. So just drizzling in the extra virgin olive oil as I'm whisking the other ingredients. And this is going to make a really nice vinaigrette that we're then going to add to our salad. So, and we're going to, again, whisk this so it all kind of emulsifies. And that's come together really nicely. So as you can see, that is ready for us when we are ready to put this whole salad together, which won't be very long from now. So we are, again, just browning these corn kernels. What's in here is a large shallot minced, and we cooked this in about a tablespoon of olive oil, and we've got another couple of minutes on this until it cooks and starts to really brown. I see that we have a comment here. So Mary says, I thought wheat berries were in cereal. Where are they located in the grocery store near the dried beans? Awesome question, and I actually meant to mention to you where you get them. I get mine at the Head Nut. I think you can also get them at probably Whole Foods. I have looked in the Giant, and I have not seen it there. They do have an organic section, but I've seen farro, but not wheat berries. So I would try. I got mine very cheaply at the Head Nut, and today I bought two pounds of it, and I came away, it was like $4. So very affordable. Okay, so this is starting to brown, and I don't want this to burn. So the last thing it's going to ask me to do is put in our 3 tablespoons of minced garlic, and I'm going to put this in. You never want to put garlic in a straight pan of hot oil because you will burn your garlic and then it won't taste very good. So having this in with the onion and the corn should keep it from burning. You just want it to kind of release the fragrance of the garlic and cook it a little bit. It doesn't need to be cooked more than about 2 minutes here. And you are kind of keeping your eye on this so it doesn't burn on the bottom of the pan. So again, we've got 3 tablespoons, and I'm going to take some of this yumminess of the garlic off of my spatula here. And we've got the corn, the shallot, a little bit of olive oil, and some garlic. And this is kind of the end of the part here. But while we are waiting for that, let's strain our wheat berries. And again, I'm bringing this back to here, and we're taking the lid off. And we are going to drain. This was just about a cup of wheat berries, but you don't want to put the excess water in the salad. You want it to drain this. So I'm just using a straight, and as you see, it kind of, I don't know if it doubled in volume, but it definitely increases in volume. And it's nice. They're nice and soft now. They do have a little bit of chewiness left to them, but they do require some cooking. What I love about it is, when I do it on the crock pot is I go, if I go to work and come back, it's all done. The hardest part of it's all done. So again, just straining this into my strainer, and then this is going to go into our bowl. I'm also going to turn off our corn. I think we are ready to call that cooked. Again, we only had the stove on for about 10 minutes, which is great. And again, I'm about an hour away from eating, so hopefully everything will cool down before I attempt to wrangle my family into the kitchen where they would say, oh, it's hot. So anyway, so those are my drained wheat berries. And I'm just going to kind of make sure that most of the liquid is out of them. And then I'm going to bring my serving bowl, which is where the whole salad's going to be. And again, you can tell they're steaming, they're warm, they're ready to go. And now we're just going to assemble this salad. We're going to put in this dressing, and we're going to put that in, and it will be absorbed by the nice warm wheat berries. And we're going to stir that up. And I'm also, at this time, I'm going to put in my corn. So everything that's really warm will go in this salad. Now, because I've got these fresh ingredients still to go, I don't think I'm actually going to mix all this together. I'm going to show you a final picture on the Facebook page or on this event. But what I have put in here now is the corn mixture and the warm wheat berries, along with the vinaigrette that I made with the lemons and the lemon zest. And so, as you can see, we're pretty much there, but I don't think I want to add the other fresh ingredients. And those two are my tomatoes. This is just a pint of grape tomatoes that I have quartered, but I am going to let this cool down just a little bit. And then this is 3/4 of a cup of chopped basil. And that will go in. That came straight out of my garden. So, but I'm going to let this cool just a tad. And then the final thing I'm going to put in here is 4 ounces of goat cheese. And the goat cheese, I think, with the vinaigrette will really add kind of a tanginess to this, which should be really, really good. But again, because this was kind of hot coming out of the crock pot, I'm going to let this sit for a little bit, but then I will show you the final product. I will post that to the comments of this Facebook Live event, along with the recipe that came from the kitchen, which is kind of I think it's a daily show on the Food Network. And it's got a bunch of different people, but this was under their section about trying to cook, in the heat and not having your stove on. Again, we only had this frying pan on for about 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready to do this salad. The last thing I wanted to show you is I am going to grill tonight, and I may have mentioned that one of my favorite things when I don't know what to cook, is to bring chicken, either breasts or thighs, and marinate them in pretty much every herb I have on my deck. And I wanted to show you, it's been marinating, and I'm going to put them on the grill in about a half hour. So let me show you how this looks. Again, I am going to grill this in a little while. This is some chicken thighs, and I have put in here basil and rosemary. I have put in some chives that I had in my planters outside. I have a couple of cloves of garlic that I've minced, so basil, rosemary, some chives, some parsley, and some thyme as well. And this just really makes a nice grilled chicken. I also put some olive oil in here, as well as some rice vinegar. And again, super simple when I don't know what to do and what to cook. And I will stick this on the grill just for 15 minutes. And that'll be ready to go with our salad. So that's it. Again, I'm trying very hard not to turn on my oven here in in the Shannon house because it is so hot today. But that's it for, and again, I will show you, let me come back here. I will show you the final product for our wheat berry and tomato and basil salad. Again, don't be afraid of cooking wheat berries. They're really simple. You can stick them in the crock pot for 6 to 8 hours on low with a couple of cups of water, and they will turn out great. So anyway, thanks for joining me today for Kickin' Cooking in Quarantine. Again, my name is Mary Bear Shannon. I'm a reference librarian at the Haverford Township Free Library. We do these programs every Monday at 5 o'clock from my home here in Havertown. So glad to have you here and have a great day.